The most dangerous thing you can do in a toxic department isn't making a mistake. It's trying to fix one too quickly. Most people think that when their reputation takes a hit, they need to over-explain, overwork, or apologize their way back into favor. They try to flood the engine with good deeds. But in a high-friction environment, effort often looks like desperation. And desperation is a scent that toxic colleagues can smell from a mile away. To fix a reputation, you don't need more effort. You need a systemic reset.
Picture this. You walk into the Monday morning meeting. You've had a rough quarter. Maybe a project slipped or you let your emotions get the best of you in a heated thread. You can feel the temperature in the room drop. There's the look, the subtle exchange of glances between colleagues when you speak. You're no longer a teammate. You're a liability. You're the problem child of the department. It feels like you're walking through waist-deep water. Every task is harder because you're carrying the weight of everyone's negative assumptions. You start to wonder if the only way out is a resignation letter. But before you update your resume, understand this. Reputations are not carved in stone. They are built on patterns, and patterns can be disrupted.
The hidden problem isn't your performance, it's the confirmation bias. In psychology, once people form a narrative about you, that you're unreliable or difficult, their brains subconsciously filter for evidence that supports that story. If you're 5 minutes late, it's proof you're lazy. If a high performer is 5 minutes late, they're just busy. In a toxic department, this bias is weaponized. People use your bad rep as a shield for their own insecurities or as a tool for office politics. You aren't fighting your mistakes, you're fighting a collective mental script. To change the script, you have to stop playing the character they've assigned to you.
To navigate this, we use the 90-day reset. We break this into 3 distinct phases. Pillar 1, strategic neutrality. The first 30 days are about vanishing. Not literally, you still show up, but you must become emotionally invisible. In a toxic office, your reactions are currency. If you're defensive, you're giving them more data points for their negative narrative. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have the power to hold no opinion about a thing and to not let it upset your state of mind." For these 30 days, you provide zero noise, no complaints, no oversharing, no defense of your past actions. You become a black box. You are polite, efficient, and entirely unreactive. You are starving the confirmation bias of new fuel. Pillar 2, the competence pivot. Days 31 to 60 focus on low-variance output. In a bad department, people look for spikes and crashes. They expect you to fail. Your goal is to be boringly consistent. Don't try to win Employee of the Month. Just hit every deadline with a 100% accuracy rate on the small things. Your predictability becomes an accidental asset. When the world is on fire, people eventually turn toward the person who is standing still.
If you're realizing that your workplace feels more like a chess match than a career, you're starting to see through the fog. This channel is designed for those who want to master the quiet strategy of corporate survival. If you value these kinds of calculated insights, you might find it useful to join us.
Pillar 3, the selective alliance. By day 61, the heat on your reputation has likely cooled because you haven't given anyone fresh ammunition. Now you begin to re-emerge, but not with everyone. Toxic departments run on triangulation, people talking about each other rather than to each other. You need to break the circuit. Find one influential yet neutral peer. Offer them a small, high-value win. Don't ask for a favor, provide one. This isn't about being a people pleaser. It's about creating a new data point. When that person mentions to the group, actually, they handled that report perfectly. It creates cognitive dissonance. The group's old story about you starts to crack. As Peter Drucker famously noted, efficiency is doing things right. Effectiveness is doing the right things. In the final 30 days, you are only doing the right things, the ones that are visible to the people who actually hold power.
While following the 90-day timeline, you must implement 3 specific micro-moves. First, the audit of communication. Go back and look at your emails and messages from the last 6 months. Are they wordy? Are they emotional? Do they sound like someone who is struggling? From today, adopt the executive brief style. Short, factual, conclusion first. If you sound like a leader, eventually people forget you were once the problem. Second, the boundary reset. Often a bad reputation comes from being too helpful and then burning out, leading to mistakes.
You must stop the yes-no cycle. Practice saying, I can prioritize that, but it will mean pushing back the X project, which is the priority. This shifts the responsibility of the no back onto the department. Third, the record of reality. In a toxic environment, gaslighting is common. Keep a success log that is entirely private. Note every deadline met and every positive metric achieved. This isn't for your boss, it's for your own mental resilience. It's hard to believe a toxic narrative when you have a spreadsheet of facts sitting in your desk drawer.
Here is the hard truth. You cannot control what your coworkers think of you. You can only control the signal you emit. There's a concept in Stoicism called the reserve clause. It means doing your absolute best while simultaneously accepting that the outcome is not entirely in your hands. If you spend 90 days being a model of consistency and the department still treats you like a villain, the problem is no longer your reputation. The problem is the environment. By completing the 90-day reset, you gain the ultimate corporate superpower, clarity. You will know with 100% certainty whether the situation is fixable or if you are simply watering a dead plant. Either way, you win. Because if you do decide to leave, you're leaving as the best version of yourself, not the failure they tried to make you believe you were.
A reputation is like a shadow. It's a reflection of where you stand in relation to the light. If you don't like your shadow, don't try to fix the dark shape on the ground. Move toward the light. Fix your habits, fix your boundaries, fix your output. In 90 days, you won't just have changed how they see you, you'll have changed how you see yourself. And in the corporate world, that is the only reputation that actually determines your ceiling. Clear the fog. Stay strategic. If this video was helpful to you, and if you want to stay ahead in your career, press subscribe and drop a comment below about how you plan to reshape your career in the coming days.